my goal would be like at least a video per week.
It becomes precipitously easier.
So I think my two main issues are what the content should be and then how to edit the content.
And we're back for another episode of the Mission Control Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Stearns with, y'all know the brand, Ascend Digital Agency. Today we got a very special guest, Jeffrey Teitelbaum with RST Roofing and Renovation out of Atlanta, more specifically Decatur.
That's right.
I feel like Ludacris said that in the song.
I'm sure he has.
Part 2 Decatur. Yeah, something like that.
It's in there.
We'll drop the link in the comments so you guys can experience yourself, because I'm not great at karaoke. Turns out I'm not great at a lot of things, but that's okay. Strive to be better.
Each day.
Tell the audience a little bit about yourself, Jeffrey.
Yeah, so out of Decatur, Georgia, going on year 7 in business, which is kind of strange to actually say out loud and think back. It feels like it happened pretty quick.
You used to be a cop, right?
I was, yeah. That was the first profession, first career. Did that in Atlanta as well. Got a little bit tired of it.
Let's talk about that, because that's an interesting career pivot from, an officer of the law to, the authority for all things roofs.
Right. Yeah. I mean, use some of those skill sets to switch over. I was in law enforcement for 6 years. Detective of like the last 3 years that I did it. There was a little pivot in between that kind of got me into the roofing industry as I went into insurance adjusting.
Okay. How'd that come about?
Randomly, an ex-officer was like, "Hey, I got this job working at an insurance company. I'm a staff adjuster. You should come do it. Pays better, works easier, Monday to Friday." And
shit, sign me up.
Back then, this is like 2017. I was making like $55,000 a year as a cop. I was working like 100 hours of overtime a month on top of it just to like supplement the income. Still not hitting 6 figures even with that. And I was like, yeah, let's pivot out of this. It was kind of a rough time for law enforcement.
Yeah.
Or it was the swell up of when things started to, kind of get a little, maybe understandably rough.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like a good time to, to make the pivot. I was about to get promoted out of detectives, which normally you'd be happy about, but at our department, a promotion meant you were going back on the road again. And I was just,
no thanks.
Well, yeah, it wasn't,
thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, I was about to get married. We wanted to have a family, and I was just like, that's not a lifestyle that, I wanted to go through. So I applied to the insurance gig, and like within 3 weeks, I was hired, and I was like, well, see you later.
Let's go.
Let's do it. I was on the dark side for sure when it came to this industry.
So you're the one everyone hates.
Yeah, I was the one. Yeah.
What company did you work for?
Worked for Travelers.
Okay.
Staff adjuster for them for like a year and a half. Good experience. Yeah. Good learning experience. Learned a lot. They trained us decently compared to some of the other carriers. I will give them, give them their flowers.
Give them their flowers, baby.
Give them their flowers on that. They were, they actually took you did like a month-long in-person training, hands-on. You did like a lot of field training. But man, it's like that, that line, what you don't know, you don't know. And walking into the adjusting world, it's true. If you don't have construction experience, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
And so they kind of throw you to the wolves in a sense. And, you meet all these contractors that tell you, you should do it this way, you should do it that way. And it's like, you might go on one adjuster meeting in the morning where a contractor says, no, this is how you do it. And then you go on an afternoon adjuster meeting and this other contractor's like, no, that guy was wrong. You do it this way instead.
Definitely do it this way.
Yeah. And it's like, if you don't have any construction background, which I transparently had none, I didn't know what to do. And I mean, they weren't great at, on the insurance side, they weren't great at really telling you what to do.
Right.
So yeah, you just dealt with a bunch of upset customers all the time, upset contractors all the time. And I was just like, dang, I left the stressful job of law enforcement thinking like, oh man, I'm going to go into this easy breezy field and I'm getting more shit from, contractors and homeowners than I was as an officer. And, I didn't work for like some podunk town in Georgia. I mean, I worked for one of the biggest law enforcement agencies in the Southeast. So, I mean, I dealt with all kinds of nonsense on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is more stressful than my last job, which I guess to the point where my wife was like, you got to quit. And I was actually, I guess, to kind of law enforcement to tie it all back in, I was on an adjuster meeting, met a guy, also an ex-cop. We just started talking, and he was a roofing owner, and he's like, how do you like being an adjuster? And I was like, man, this shit sucks. I was like, that's the easiest way to put it. Like, this job is terrible. Like, I'm working, it's Monday to Friday, but it's like, I'm working 12 hours a day sometimes, but I'm getting paid an 8-hour a day salary. And I was like, this is not the move. And he's like, you should get into roofing. Like, you got the insurance knowledge, like learn the roofing side and like become a business owner. He knew I went to school for finance and business. So it's like, had a little bit of that background from like an educational standpoint,
Sure.
but, no real world knowledge yet. And, he mentored me for like 9 months, and he was like, I think you're ready to go on your own. And so I put in the notice of travelers, and off I went. That's just, no kids at the time. I had this is pre-COVID, so we had a really cheap mortgage. And I was like, saved up enough money to where I was like, okay, I'm comfortable to get like 6 months. If I don't bring in a dime, I can still pay my bills. And my wife was working full time. So like had like a little bit of a, cushion.
Yeah.
But that was 2019 where I went like full time into 2019. So about 4 months later, COVID hit. So, a little terrifying from a personal standpoint, what I didn't know what was going to happen. It depends on who you listen to. It's the end of the world, no big deal. And it was like, as a business owner, new, it was pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, it was scary.
But look at you now, thriving.
Turned out that COVID for the home improvement industry was
really good.
A little bit of a blessing in disguise. Yeah, we were hitting it pretty quick, which was great. Didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning.
Act as if.
Yeah, it was one of those kind of figure it out as you go for some scenarios, but got to a point where I needed to like figure out how to like be a company, right? Like I knew what I was starting to do, but I like, how do I become like a presence in my community? Atlanta, Decatur, it's a big city.
Yeah,
5-6 million people. There's so many roofing companies, and I was like, well, how do I like stand out through all these companies? Like, how do I figure out who I am as like a brand, as a company? How do I let other people find out who I am? And I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I started searching. How do I find someone to help me become like a business? Like,
this was before ChatGPT or Gemini.
This is 2020. Like, I'm still trying to figure like, how do I get on Google Business? Like, how do I make sure that I'm being seen? And that's when your name started popping up all over Facebook. And I think I just kind of cold call reached out to you and was like, hey, what can you help me with? Like, here's my budget. What can you do for me? I think we started off with just Google Business, like just a page, just optimizing it. And
we did that. We did some LSA, set that up. Did some GBP ongoing optimization. Eventually, I'm like, you should build a website, Jeffrey.
I think it's like a year at least we're pushing on the website.
Jeffrey's a very slow buyer. He likes to take a step back and really consider things. It's that finance background he talked about earlier.
Very analytical.
He just, after 4.5 years, launched his Google ad campaign, which, by the way,
first week, last job signed.
First week, 2 leads, signed a job, $12K. Let's go.
Right off the rip.
Shout out to the team.
Yes, got it.
And look, it took, almost 5 years, but we got there, right?
We made it happen.
We made it happen, and we're going to continue to make it happen. What has been the most challenging thing transitioning from, a W-2 employee and kind of what you're sheltered from, right? Whether you know it or not, versus owning, running, operating a company.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a lot more internal stress, right? Because it's like, now it's like I've got to make sure, like an all-in-one, right? Like there's those old FedEx commercials, right? Where it's like you're the this, you're the that, and you are. So the hardest part for me has been trying to figure out like where my weaknesses are and how to find somebody to come in and take over that part of it. Like, I know I'm not good at this, so what can I do to make sure that part of the business thrives? Because it's like terrible with like paperwork. Always have been. Even from the policing job, I hated paperwork. Like travelers hated paperwork. And so even now, like I hate paperwork. Like I would much rather be customer facing, at their front door, at the kitchen table. Like that's where I feel like I thrive. And so like trying to, we've got CRMs where we're hooked up. We've got AccuLynx where, we've got automations all set up to make sure that like we're getting the initial contact and, doing all that other stuff. But like, even like the invoicing, like that's so important. Like making sure cash flow
Pretty
occurs,
important, yeah.
super important. And it's like, not that I don't care about it, but it's like sometimes it just takes a back seat. And so now I've had to bring someone in to make sure that invoicing is like actually getting sent out.
Yeah.
Reminders are being done. Like that's been my biggest struggle, like the people, like managing people aspect of it. And I mean, that's part of the slow burn for me in terms of doing the next steps, even with you guys, right?
Yeah.
Like getting the website. It's like, all right, if I get a website and I do SEO, like how am I going to handle more leads? Which is like, it seems so counterintuitive because most businesses are like, how do I get more leads? I mean, like on Facebook over the last couple months, it's been nonstop people asking, who do you get your leads from? Who's a lead generator? And there's from like all these like scams and like drama in the roofing industry. And it's like, I feel so blessed that I've never even had to go down that path. Never had to have a lead generation company, come in and pay per lead. It's been very organic.
Yeah.
Which has been all you guys. I mean, realistically, it's SEO is slow. And I think you and I had a conversation right off in the beginning, like where I told you, hey, I'm not ignorant of the fact that this is not going to be a 6-month process.
No.
And you're like, well, that's a first, right? Like everyone's always wanting, like, give me the leads now. And it's no, I know. Like, and like I said, I'm in a market with hundreds, if not thousands of roofing companies. Like these local Facebook groups, someone's like, hey, I need a roofer. I mean, there might be like 200 plus comments on that page. And it's like, okay, well, like those are like going to be raced to the bottom contractors. And like, that's just not where we're at. Like we're trying to provide a certain level of customer service where it's like, don't mind being a little bit more expensive. Like, it'll be kind of in the middle, a little high, but it's like, you're going to get something in return for that because, I mean, we're all doing the same shingles. Yeah. We're all offering the same products. It's like, you have to be a little bit different or else you're just another person with a different, another logo on the shirt.
Yeah. And it's just, how well does a company communicate that difference to people that don't know them? And how frequently do they do that? Right. And, looking at it objectively for pretty much any company I've ever dealt with or, consider working with us or just talk to casually, there's always opportunities to do more. So it's kind of like that balance between when do I not drive myself crazy trying to do more? And when am I not doing my job as a leader to get enough out? Right. And if you figure out what the answer to that question is, I'll bring you back on the show and you could tell everybody because I haven't figured it out. I don't know that I ever will, but just intentionality around like, hey, what is our differentiation? Because that's our value to the customer, right? And the more people that understand why we're different and how that impacts them and what that value is, the more likely they are to buy from us, right?
Correct.
Video content's a very cheap and easy way to do that if you do it consistently. Some guys are better than others.
That's next on our list because we're definitely not. we did, I think, our first video. We did that Da Vinci roof. Mm-hmm. This, I think it was in the spring, and that was the first time I think I went on. Like I brought someone in to do a video. I think it was like a minute and a half, but it was good. Now it's on. Now you guys have it embedded on the website. We've got it for different people to see, and then we ended up doing 2 more Da Vinci roofs right after that. And that's after 6 years of never doing one. So, now we added that as a page on the website and it's...
and now, if someone's considering a premium roof option like Da Vinci, it's easy enough to send them to a page that's curated to their experience. The next step is then having one of those happy Da Vinci customers where when they land on that page, it's social proof, right? Like, oh, they must do a good job because this person in my neighborhood is super excited about having it work with them. And these aren't all things like for you or for any other company where it's like, okay, turn the key in the ignition. And you can tell I'm old. I'm aging myself with that because there hasn't been an ignition in years.
We're keyless over here, man.
We're keyless, but you're not going to just stick the key in the ignition. All of a sudden, you have this beautiful content strategy with perfectly executed content. But it's like you got to start somewhere.
Correct.
And video content is just massively undervalued. If you're doing searches on any platform, you'll see a lot more videos populating in the more prevalent space, whether it's first page of Google, LLM results, etc.
Right.
So, and it's evergreen a lot of the times. If you're making a piece of content about, maybe we did the install video, now maybe we do a why Da Vinci video, right? And who is this product right for? So if you've got somebody that, you're at the table with, you don't close them, you send them a follow-up, hey, just to reiterate, here's some things that we talked about, but also consider this when you're buying.
Right.
Whether it's from us or anybody else.
Yeah, I think that's one of our next steps is like we have like an automation email that goes out to every new customer. So like, customer calls in, like our process, customer calls in, let's say it's from like a web form lead. Our goal is obviously answer the phone. That's got to be like the first thing,
That's
right?
A great goal.
Because if you don't answer that phone, they're calling somebody else.
Yep.
I mean, I'm the same way, right? If I need I'm not a plumber. So if I need a plumber and I don't have my guy and they don't answer the phone, I'm just going to the next highest rated person on the list. I mean, until someone answers or calls me back. So, we got to answer the phone, get them in our system, get them an appointment. And as soon as an appointment happens or is scheduled, automated text, automated email, like right away. Like, hey, thanks for calling. Here's who you're meeting with. Here's when you're meeting. Here's the arrival time. So our next goal, I think you kind of helped us get ready to do that, is have some like video content. So we're gonna have like an embedded YouTube video in that initial email, like a what to expect. Like, what are we going to be doing when we come to your house?
Yeah.
And we'll kind of curate that based on what we're going to their house for, right? Is it
perfect?
We're going for a roof replacement? Is it a gutter project? Is it a metal roof? Like, whatever that specific thing is, we'll have just a short video. Under a minute, just a
quick, easy,
something quick. We're kind of trying to figure out: do we have it go to our website? Do we have it go to a YouTube page? Maybe both options. I'll probably work with you guys on that part.
I got some ideas.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. But just to keep them more engaged, right? Yeah. Like, I feel like in the I say I know you say you aged yourself, but I mean, we're still that millennial generation, and I think a lot of our customers are starting to kind of be millennials that are in their first home or in their second home, and they're the ones that are starting to like buy things now. But I think our generation was the first one that really had like that 24-hour news cycle where like you expect things quickly and you want it in front of you and you don't want to have to do a lot of work to get it. So it's like, if I can deliver all that to my customer, hopefully they don't even go to anybody else because I'm just giving them everything they need right in front of them. It's like, why am I even going to call somebody else? Like, all this stuff is right here. As long as they show up and they do what they tell me they're going to do, I feel good about it.
What's the one goal for 2026 where if we shoot a podcast on January 1, 2027, unequivocally it will be done and it's geared towards making a positive impact in your company?
It would be video content.
Okay, so let's set some expectations to where, because I'm going to have you back on the show. I'm going to set a calendar reminder after we end this.
Gotcha.
And whether I fly down to Decatur, you come to wherever I'm at, or we do it via, riverside.fm, we look back and be like, Jeff is a man of his word.
Man of my word. So definitely need to have the intro video, like the what to expect video has to be in, like that I'd like to have done by like end of this month or early February. So, may need some editing. We'll see.
It's fun,
but no big deal. Like you said, you have to start somewhere, right? Like, you see all these people that get, all these influencers that get popular, like they started with nothing and they got to wherever they are, right? So I don't need to be an influencer. I just need to,
let's get you to be,
I just need to be, trustworthy to a customer. So definitely want to have that video. I do want to have some more video like options, like more on that what to expect, like path, like even for like, okay, you got your what to expect video for your inspection. Now it's going to be like what to expect for your day of, right? So like if we're doing your roof install, like instead of just sending you an email with like, hey, you need to do these things, like, get your car out of the driveway, make sure there's nothing blocking this or that, have like an actual video. Like, people just like to consume content. And if I can give you like a 30 or 45 second clip where it's just to the point, like, hey, do these things. And it just, even if it's just some B-roll stuff of like literally me backing my own car out of the driveway, like just basic. I'd like to have that by the end of February. And maybe one or two other ones, just kind of based on, I know you kind of created a list for us in terms of some high converting videos. I'd love to have it before spring starts, like that for sure. Would be goal number one before, for the real season kicks off.
I need 4 videos for your internal stuff. So the what to expect, the day of, post install, things like that. And I need 24 videos that are more problem aware content or inspection day, things like that.
Yeah, like social media.
To where we can put them out on social media and we can show people the difference that RST
2 months.
makes.
I feel like that's
2 months.
more than reasonable.
I feel like it's going to be very easy for you to overachieve here.
Right.
And for you to feel really good about just knocking it out of the park. But I'm just letting you know now on the show, I will resent you if we don't have 24 videos by the end of 2026. I'm just letting you know.
That's fair. That's okay.
You know, and I think every relationship either flourishes or flounders with, clear expectations, and those being met or not met.
Right.
And if they're realistic, the likelihood of that relationship continues to be successful is significantly larger.
We do our monthly meetings. So, I mean, it's like, I feel like at each meeting, we should make sure there's been 2 new videos.
I'll let Charlie know
minimum
to hold you accountable.
Let the team know.
At least 2 videos. Yep. Because
I would like maybe ambitiously, my goal would be like at least a video per week. Ambitiously.
It becomes precipitously easier.
That's my thought process, right?
So right now it's like the anxiety of getting on camera, feeling comfortable with what I'm talking about, not knowing what the editing process or posting process is going to look like.
So I think my 2 main issues are what the content should be and then how to edit the content. I'm not camera shy, I guess. Like I know some people get like really like anxiety from being in front of the camera, which I totally understand. I just did like a bunch of things like throughout school and even in the law enforcement where like I was like camera facing sometimes. And so it's never been like I don't mind like even this right now, right? Like
you're doing great. I'm proud of you.
Appreciate
it.
Know that. Yes. Appreciate it. Yeah. Like I don't mind being camera facing. It's more like, I guess that analytical part of me that you brought up earlier is like, I need to know what I'm going to be saying and like how to get it delivered.
In the absence of knowing how something plays out, that is like literally the definition of anxiety, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
It's, and then we kind of just shut down and it doesn't get done and we'll deal with it later.
Right.
And that's why I'm really happy that we're setting this target. But once you get through a few of the videos, you're like, okay, so this is how I'm going to talk. And there's things that you do as you're shooting the video, right? I've seen a few times it mentioned where it's you shoot a video, you watch it without volume. You shoot a video, you listen to it without watching it, and then that same video, you watch it with the volume on. And you'll notice these little ticks or nuances or things that we can clean up in the delivery.
Right.
Maybe it's I say right, like too much. Those are common. If I'm out of practice and I'm not shooting content for a few weeks, I revert right back I just did
an onboarding call talking about the ums like 2 weeks ago we reluctantly are on some TPAs and it's just from my traveler's background. Honestly, they reached out to us, me specifically, and said, will you do this? And I know there's a lot of mixed feelings in the industry about it, but sure, whatever. It's working out for us, so I really can't complain too much. I mean, like,
so selfish.
It is what it is. Like, it's working out. I mean, we're literally about to, I don't know if I told you, we're about to launch a pilot program with State Farm in Georgia. And we were like one of a few selected contractors to do it. So I mean,
first I'm hearing of it.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, it's
thanks for tapping in.
Yeah, I wanted to let you know. Live, you heard it for first.
Yes, sir.
No, but it's we had a lady on there do her first clearly like group video, like during the onboarding process, and she had to say at least like 50 times.
Yeah.
And it was like a 5-minute video, and I was like losing my mind. I was like, this is really bad. Like, you clearly didn't practice for this. There was no. And like that, but that's what gets me scared about the video. Like, am I going to do that and not catch it? But then, like you just said,
simple exercise.
Right.
And now you're aware of that going into your next shoot. I know that I'm doing this too much with my hands.
Right.
I know that I'm sticking my hands in my pocket. I know that I said 13 times in a 4-second clip.
Right.
I know that I kept saying right after every statement that I made. There's all these little things that we just naturally do that are fillers in those types of situations, and we're more prone to it if it's an uncomfortable situation. But just like anything else, you start to get the reps in, you become more comfortable, you become more confident, you're less likely to do those things. And at the end of the day, it makes for better content, but you don't have to, you don't have to hit a home run the first time at bat.
Yeah, that's true. You just got to start somewhere.
Yeah, even if you get hit, right? Like you get on first base, baby. Let's go. You go down swinging, you did your best. Next time you're up at bat, what could I have done differently? Well, maybe don't swing at the ball that drops into the dirt. I don't know. I'm not a big baseball guy. I always sucked at it. I played first base when I did play, or third base, and I couldn't make the throw to first. Had a cannon, but the accuracy for whatever reason.
Didn't know where the ball was going to go.
Yeah, and sometimes it was great, sometimes it wasn't. My first time at bat, one of my friends, Steve, he was pitching, and he was in my earth science class, and he knew my trepidation with baseball and not wanting to get hit with a ball. So what does he do? Just throws a fastball. And we're in 10th, 11th grade. He was the type of guy, though, he played town league and he also played for the school. They would go to like Sarasota for their training camps.
So he was legit.
He was good, right? And he just beans me right in the right in the kidney. I'm like, ah. And then every time I was up at bat, I'm like, so that was the end of my baseball career. It's fine.
That's fair.
But again, it will get much easier, for you, for everybody watching. Shoot the content, analyze what you're doing, shoot more, and right when you want to stop because it sucks and nobody's watching, double down and shoot twice as much. I can't tell you how important it is because, you'll find that, dude, Brock, he's here at IRE with us. His first video, I give him hell all the time. It was like a hostage video, dude. It was so bad. My first video, treacherous. Sweating, stuttering, so bad. I did 50 takes because I didn't really understand that I could just pause for a second and in post they could edit it out.
Going right.
So I'm shooting like a 9-minute video. I had to shoot it like 40 times, dude. And I was getting so frustrated. But once you understand, you have that familiarity, like I didn't have at the time. Like, if you're shooting a video and it's bad, clap, pause for a second, pick it back up. So easy to edit and tie that together.
Yeah.
So you learn these through exposure of doing it. You look back a month, 2 months, 3 months, and man, Brock right now, he's phenomenal on video. He makes great content. And I tell him, I'm so proud of you because most people don't see it through, but it's only going to become more and more important. And it can help serve your brand so well in a way that any type of written content or communication or conversations can. Please, if you take nothing else from this podcast, shoot the damn video content, please, and thank you. That's all.
That's where we're at.
That's where we're at.
I've got the tools. I got the mics.
Yeah,
I bought the mics. I just did a testimonial video for you. I think like a week or two ago.
It's great. It
was a one shot. Go for it. Just to make it happen.
Young lady needed help with a roof. She Googled roofers near me. Guess who popped up? This guy. So on site, he said, I'm going over to this job and, that's how we got it. I said, great, shoot a video on site about it. That'll be great. And then we'll use that for our benefit. I was being a little selfish.
That's okay. You deserve it. Listen, the lady was 40 minutes away from my front door. So it's like, that's how far the SEO reached, outside of our backyard. Because, we're in such a dense residential area. We don't typically need to go too far away.
Yeah.
But I was confused. I'm like, why am I all the way up here? And I just asked her. Just like, hey, how did you find us? She's like, I Googled top-rated roofer near me and you were number one. And I was just like, love that for us. Love that for us. Like, there's so many big companies where she lives. And I'm like, I'm happy we were able to get through the weeds. That was like the whole thing, like in the beginning of this whole conversation. How do we stand out? Like, how do we show that we exist? And this was what we did.
F yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So what's one thing you're changing from 25 to 26? To either be more efficient, be more profitable, grow the company? Is there something that distinctly comes to mind when I ask you that question?
So we did just do a big switch over to AccuLynx. We were with Job Nimbus for 5 years. I mean, since the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to Job Nimbus, I'm sorry. But their reporting just made it so difficult for me to like run the company in a sense of like trying to look at numbers.
Yeah.
Things wouldn't populate sometimes, or it's like, you forgot to move this to this specific category first before you move to this other category. And I was like, this is like
frustrating.
Like the technology shouldn't make your life more difficult, right? Like it should make your life easier. So I think AccuLynx took like a lot of flack recently with this whole Xactimate situation.
Yeah. And
so I think they were just offering like pricing that I couldn't really turn down.
Make them until you can't refuse.
I mean, that's what it came down to. I mean, they gave me, I feel bad if anyone's on here and they're paying way more. I've already talked to some people that are. I kind of feel bad for them, but it's tough. For me, it's great. So another one of those situations, you got to take advantage of it in business, right? If the opportunity comes knocking, you better open that door. And so we're switching to them. And I mean, I think we've got like another 2 weeks left in our onboarding, but we've pretty much migrated everything over. And man, what a world of difference.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not glitchy at all. Like there's so many add-ons that we're able to use. Like, GAF Quick Measure or Eagle View. I can have measurements before I even finish my inspection, and then it auto builds my templated estimate, which I know Job Nimbus had the capability of doing, but actually getting it to work was just so difficult. AccuLynx is just immediate. I mean, that first Google guy that we signed, I was able to finish it all right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And he was just like amazed. And then AccuLynx has a customer portal. Seems like such a basic thing, but I send you a link, you open it, your entire file like lives in this portal as a customer. So you can see the dates I was at your house, all the photos that I took at your house,
Nice.
estimates in there, my picture and contact information. Like, it just looks so professional. Invoices are in there so they can pay directly through their portal. I don't have to sit there and, play around with emails. It's just, it all lives like right there. So it's been like the biggest change so far. But then of course, Google Ads with you guys, that's for me in terms of what are we doing to like accelerate the business. That's it.
Yeah.
Just kind of ripping the Band-Aid off and saying, let's do it.
Let's ride, baby.
Yeah. So just going kind of all in on the business, kind of also focusing a little bit more on roofing this year. With the insurance stuff, we get stuck with some kind of larger loss jobs that, although like on paper look like they're good, they're just so demanding,
bog you down a bit,
so time consuming.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to stick to what you're good at in a sense.
Yeah.
And it's not that we're bad at the large loss stuff. It's just I don't have enough people to like justify doing that all the time. I would need to bring in more of that work,
which makes it make less sense from a profit perspective.
Yeah, it's like, so we'll see. With the new TPA stuff, maybe we get to that point where I do have to bring in some project managers to do it. And if that's the case, like, good problem to have. But if I don't have to do it, I'm not going to, like even our Google Ads, I think it's like 95% residential roofing for our spend. So it's like, that is our focus this year.
I love that clarity, dude. And I love that, you're making changes and setting us up for a great 2026. I'm excited to see where we land.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you stopping by and spending some time with me today. Grateful for you depending on the sun. Depend on the sun, folks. If you ain't know, now you know. Depend on the sun. No, but all jokes aside, man, I'm happy you've done an incredible job. We've done some good stuff. You've done a ton of incredible stuff to get the business to where it's at now, and to set it up for a run here in the future. So, and I'm also excited to circle back on this January 1 of 2027.
Yeah.
And for you to have at least your 24, customer facing videos, as well as your 4 to 5 internal videos. And even more so that it's going to be like 150. And you're like, dude, I'm so mad that I didn't start doing this earlier. And I would have been like, man, if only somebody was nipping at your ankles to have this done over the last few years, it would have been helpful, right?
It would have been nice if somebody told me something.
I wish. But yeah, man, we're gonna head to the show. Thank you for tuning in today and spending some time with us. Shout out to the team at Roofer again for helping making this happen. Make sure you hit the link down in the description. Appreciate you guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.